Chris, we look ahead to another away game with Wealdstone tomorrow, fresh off another high-scoring draw against West Ham United on Tuesday night. How have the last couple of days been since then?
Reflected on West Ham, looked at the good bits, trying to move forwards with that. Looked at plenty of the bits to improve on. How we can iron those bits out. In terms of a lead in to the Wealdstone game, West Ham's actually there's a lot of crossover. It's a really good preparation actually for Wealdstone, because there's a lot of similarity and, as I said, crossover between the way the two teams play. So in terms of learning from the West Ham game in preparation for what is ultimately the priority, it's been a really good week, and a week full of progress. I think, as I said, there was some really good stuff on Tuesday night. As I said, plenty of goals scored. That attack mantra is I think clear for all to see. But as I said, plenty of stuff to improve on, and it's an extension of our attacking approach that we need to be even more aggressive and even more front foot, because I think that will help us from a defensive perspective in terms of ironing out the clear areas for improvement. So really good week, and progress made for sure.
Since you've arrived, you've often touched on the small bits of progress we've made, a mini unbeaten run, the amount of goals being scored. We want to obviously put down a much bigger marker tomorrow with our first league win since August. How do we go about doing that?
Well, first and foremost, Wealdstone are a really good side. We've watched a number of their games in preparation for Saturday. For example, the game against York, obviously on the face of it, it looks like a convincing win for York, but when you actually watch the game, Wealdstone were really good in the game, created a lot of opportunities. So we know that we're going to have to be at our best, possession-based, expansive, very athletic, very powerful. As I said, real crossover and similarities between them and West Ham in terms of the type, style, profile of player. So we know it's going to be tough, but equally we feel like we're making really good progress. We feel like, as I said, we're creating plenty of chances, we're scoring goals, and we're pretty clear on what we need to improve on in terms of the other end of the pitch, making those goals from an attacking perspective count towards 3 points as opposed to another draw. So we'll have to be aggressive front foot, we'll have to attack the opposition, we will have to commit even more numbers forwards, we will have to be very good in transition as well, because as I said, they've got pace and power, but that will also be an extension of what we're doing on the ball to make sure that we're our lock-up is right in preparation for if the ball turns over, and then in those moments we have to be even more aggressive, defending forwards, smothering counters at source. I think if we can do that, it'll give us a really good chance to pick up 3 points. But ultimately for us, it's about continuing to build momentum. We're after 3 points, obviously. We'll go into every game in pursuit of that, and if we can keep improving and developing individually and as a collective, then I'm pretty sure those 3-3 draws will turn into more convincing scorelines, which are then result in 3 points.
Morecambe's win in the week did put us to the bottom of the league. Does that maybe give you extra motivation to get off the foot of the table as soon as possible?
No, I don't need any more motivation, to be honest. We haven't had a proper look at the league table, quite frankly, whether we were at the top end of the division, which we were there or thereabouts this time last year at a previous club, or whether you are near the bottom end of the division. I don't think you can read too much into the league table. In October, I think it will start to take shape. It's more November, December time. So for example, Yeovil a few games ago were near the bottom, back-to-back wins, and they find themselves on the cusp of the playoffs. So the big thing for us is we played against a Hartlepool side a week ago who are on the edge of the playoffs, who have started the season relatively well, established at the level, got a lot of good players, and I thought for 20-25 minutes we completely dominated them and were very good. So for me, that's the best sort of reflection of where we're at and what we can do than the league table at the moment. We just need to look after performances, and then results will come like they have. I mean, as I said, we're on the longest unbeaten run that the club's had this year. We're Saturday, Tuesday, pretty flat out. So in terms of ability to impact the players on the training pitch is affected by that. So all in all, we're pretty pleased with where we're at. And as I said, it's for us. We're 5 games into our season. We're 5 unbeaten, and we go into the Wealdstone game confident, but equally really respectful of what the opposition can offer up and the challenges they pose. But again, confident that we can go there and put on a really good performance and put more points on the board.
In training, you've also really driven the details, especially in terms of passing. How do you believe the squad has taken to your philosophy under yourself, Dean, BC, and how do you reinstill that belief as well?
Well, I think the best way to get buy-in from players is to pick up results. And with that in mind, as I said, without sounding like a broken record, that's what we've done since we've been here. So that's the best way to get players to buy into what you're trying to do. But also on top of it, I think the players want to play that type of football. It's enjoyable. It's the type of football I think you grow up wanting to play. We want to play attacking football. We do play attacking football. We're on the front foot. And from a player's perspective, that's, as I said, I think that's the type of football they'd rather play. And if you can couple that with putting points on the board, then in terms of the players buying into to what you're going after, I think it's a lot more straightforward. I mean, for us, there's a lot of work to do, as we've made it very clear. There's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of details that aren't where they need to be, but ultimately that's the reason that we're here. So we view it as a great opportunity to improve the individuals within the group and improve the club's league position very quickly, and we intend to do that playing entertaining, attacking football, which I think the fans have responded incredibly well to. And I think we're a really good watch at the minute. And as I said, 5 unbeaten, and we go into Saturday aiming to make it 6 unbeaten, and even better with 3 points.
And part of that has been the arrival of 2 new recruits. Just a word on those 2 today.
Yeah, so Tommy Reid, I've known Tommy since he was I think 6 or 7, to be fair. He's local to where I am. Coached him at Brighton. Very, very good goalkeeper, obviously ex-England youth international. Has made the move to Charlton Athletic, done well at Charlton, needs to get out and play senior football as part of his development. Big character, big personality, early 20s, but he's a proper man, which is something that we need more of at the football club in terms of personality, character. Won't be shy in coming forwards either. So if things aren't to the required standard, he will certainly help drive that, which is really important with what is a very young group. And then Kai Jennings, I'm trying to make up for lost time, so I had the opportunity to bring Kai in at 2 previous clubs. Both those times didn't quite happen, so I was going to make sure the 3rd time we didn't miss out. So obviously on loan from AFC Wimbledon, all action midfield player, high energy, brilliant all rounder. Again, bags of personality as well. So young, but what he lacks in experience, he more than makes up in terms of his character and energy and enthusiasm, which again is something that's really important. We needed to add more legs to the team. Out there on that pitch, there's no hiding place. So if you can't get about the pitch, or you don't want to get about the pitch, then you'll bang in trouble. So we we've looked at that, and we've as I said, tried to plug that gap in the squad or add more of that. And yeah, Kai's a really big addition for us, and really looking forward to working with him.
Does Reed coming in mean Jack Sims' injury is worse than previously feared?
No, it's one of them. He had a scan beginning of the week, and it's a bit how long's a piece of string. It depends really on how Simo reacts to the treatment he's getting. So it could be another 3 weeks, it could be another 4 weeks, it could be another week. But it's one of them. It's such an important position. I think David Isaiah's done great, particularly in the first couple of games, done really well. But we need to make sure that we've got 2 senior goalkeepers available at the football club. We need to make sure that position is to the right level, to help us, as I said, hopefully stop drawing 3-3 and win a few games, maybe even 3-2.
And you said on Tuesday that Edon Pruti broke his nose. Have you had a chance to have a full assessment of his injury? Yeah.
Proots wants to play at the weekend, but I'm not too keen on that. He's a real warrior, great character, great personality, very, very good footballer, who I think has been excellent for us. I really like Proots. Again, big personality, so he'll be a miss. But what I don't want to do is force him or rush him back on Saturday and then we lose him for longer term. So as I said, Proots wants to play, but for me it doesn't really make too much sense to, as I said, force him out there and he ends up getting a whack and is out for longer than the initial week, which is the expectation as it currently stands.
And similarly, David Igbono is someone you said was taken off in order to rest and to not aggravate that injury. Does the same apply again?
Yeah, I think David will be touch and go in terms of squad selection for Wealdstone, but he will be back for 100% be back for the FA Cup game the following week.
And there's a couple of players gone out on loan, Sidhu, Dylan De Silva as well. Is this, again with the incoming players as well, a sign of you really starting to make the squad your own?
The main thing is we're trying to reduce the squad size, so it's a big squad. It's a lot of players in the building at the minute, so we're making a conscious effort to try and reduce that. But equally, we've got to try and increase the level of the group. So 2 or 3 lads going out on loan on top of the ones that have already gone out. But then with 2 lads coming in, it leaves us in a pretty neutral position. So we need to continue to try and trim the squad from what is 25 plus at the minute down to something a lot closer to sort of 18 to 20, especially with the academy players that we have and the potential pathway from the academy to the first team. Sutton, they've always had a lot of very good younger players, and having seen the boys in the Youth Cup a couple of weeks ago, a few of them obviously trained with us as well, like Charlie Bell I think has done very well. I think he was great when he came on against West Ham the other day. So we're really conscious of making sure the pathway from the academy to the first team is clear, but equally we need to make sure we win games here and now, so it's a real balancing act. So hence why we've brought in 2 loans to try and strengthen us for now, but bigger picture we need to reduce the squad to again make the group more manageable, and again to facilitate the pathway from the club's very, very good academy into the first team.
Thank you.
Thank you.